What? Oh, this is interesting. Okay, no, I'm learning. This is great. So I'm just testing everything out, see how this is gonna work out, and, yeah, see if it's worth it, and then yeah. Hi. Okay, I'm Steph. I'm going to give this live a try to because if I'm going live, then, I don't have to worry about recordings and takes, you know? So I wanted to see if this would be easier, and it already feels a little easier. It does feel a little low, though. So, like, maybe I need some of this. Need some of this. This is better. Yeah, that's a bit better. It's nicer. Okay. Okay. So, all right. Yeah, I'm here for nobody. Nobody's here, so it's great. This is great. Okay. Because then I can still use this. I'll have this video and I can still have it and splice it up and edit it so that I can do it whatever. But I'll have the live here so that like I can see my beginnings later and hopefully laugh. Yeah. But I wanted to do something because I need to do something. And yeah, it's going to be fun. So I am Steph. I'm a multi-passionate nerd, idea machine. I do a lot of stuff. Um, I've come through a whole lot of things. Wonder. Wow. I don't know. I don't know. What do y'all think? Too much? Oh, that's a little better. Ooh. Um, Now I just look like it's camping. Am I camping? I don't know. I guess I'll just leave it alone. Okay. Because I've got enough natural light, so maybe it's fine. There's not a whole lot in here, but yeah. Oh man, I look so tired. All right. All right. These aren't takes, they're just things here. So I wanted to try to give this a shot, and that's why that actually do something because I like doing things, and sometimes I need the impetus to actually do them on my own. But I'm thinking of starting a community so that we can all do this together, and that'd be more fun. But if I can't do this like on my own, at least to start, then no one's going to give a crap. Is what I figure. So it's like start somewhere, just do it. And because that's what they all say, I just like, oh, just record, just hit record, and it's fine. And it's just like, no, no, it's not fine, because like I don't have the habit of going and recording and stuff like that. It's just not there. So I wanted to use this to get better at three things. I want to get better at three things. One, I do want to get better at YouTube. I want to get better actually. So I have to actually use YouTube in order to get better at it. So this is what this is part of. Two, there's the second thing I want to get used better at is reading out loud. I don't know why I want to get better at reading out loud. There's no like real reason for it. I just kind of want to. I want to get better at reading and like remembering to read and doing the reading and that sort of thing. And just reading, I guess, because I don't read enough. And when I do read, it's all nonfiction. I watch my fiction and I read my nonfiction. Like I could read fiction if I really wanted to. So I'm going to try to do that a little bit if I ease into it, and I'm not really going to ease into this actually. No, not easing at all. Actually, no, I'm not. So the third thing I want to do, I want to get better at typing. I want to be a faster typer. So I think I wanted to. There's a game called Epistory that you type through, and it's a game. So like, I figure if I can type through it and have it'll be fun, I'll get better at typing, and I'll have fun. So I want to learn how OBS works, and I guess I need an overlay or something. I have to figure all that out in order to make everything work together on my Steam. So I can stream the Steam but also like you see my face so I can actually talk and figure out the audio so that you can really hear me okay and hear like what's happening in the game. Like there just seems to be a lot. But you know what? It's going to be a challenge that's worth doing, and I'm sure I have friends I can ask like, how does this work? So, or at least YouTube. I'll just go back and just ask YouTube like, how does this work? But for now, for today, so the reading out loud, I figure like if I just do stuff on YouTube, then that'll just so one happens kind of automatically as I go through. And yeah, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to dive in and just I'm neurodivergent. So I like a challenge, although I'm probably overwhelming myself. But like I read Alexei Navalny's memoir and Patriot, and it was so good. And I guess he really likes Leo Tolstoy, and uh, so he's like a role model. And I'm just like, okay, yeah. I mean, he's Russian, so of course he's gonna like Leo Tolstoy because he's also Russian, and it's classic. So, but then also I watched A Gentleman in Moscow, and with Ewan McGregor, and I was watching it, and I'm like, "Oh, he also mentions Leo Tolstoy." I think every Russian, like, likes Leo Tolstoy. Not actually does, but, like he's their guy or something, or I don't know. I don't know. Shakespeare's all over the place. I don't know if we have somebody, you know? So, anyway, so what I'm gonna do is I'm going to read War and Peace, which is, like, the dumbest thing. Okay, now look, I say it's the dumbest thing because like now I watched some YouTube videos first to like check on how to read War and Peace because they're like, oh, it's like 1,100 pages or something, and I'm just like, what does that mean? This is what it means. This is how thick it is. Okay, this is how many fingers. It's my 4 fingers. This is how thick this thing is. It's super heavy. Like I didn't weigh it, but it's heavy. It's super heavy, and like they did a really good job with see, like, look at that, how well it bends open. So, yeah, I got this from the library because I'm like, I, I need to see it first. I need to actually like see it and feel it and be like, okay, because I wasn't sure if also if I wanted to do the actual book or if I wanted to like just do it digitally. Because digitally would be better because I'm a nomad and I don't want to carry shit around. But reading it, like reading the actual physical book feels so much better. And it wouldn't be so much difficulty really, but this book could take me a long time because I guess it's like 2 books kinda in here and then like and then the epitaph, right? The the part at the end. Oh my gosh, the letter thing is so small. Yeah, shit. Um, yeah, and then the ending, it's in 2 parts, which is the epilogue. I'm fine. I know words. That's why I need to read more. I need more words. Yeah. And like being able to I want to practice more like looking at the little green dot while it's up there. So I'm going to improve. Um and I'm going to read this. It's just that like they went over it and it's like if you read a chapter a day, it would take about a year to read the whole thing. I don't have a whole year to read this whole thing because I want to get through it. I'm gonna want to get through it. I don't know. So I don't know. Maybe I should just relax and watch Les Mis instead. But I'm gonna go into this thing and just see what happens. And you know what? This might suck. Maybe I might change the. Oh my goodness! There's a chronological. Great grandfather given hereditary title of Count by Tsar Peter the Great. Tolstoy. I'm going to die with some of these names probably. Someone's gonna like want to shoot me. Now look, I just want to be real clear about something here also because this is going to be Russian. So I do not want to be an ugly American. I'm going to do very, very best to like say the names properly and do what I can with this properly. And to my understanding, there's a chunk of French. I took French in high school. I don't know if it's gonna just be in here already. Oh my goodness. Wait a minute. There's a whole introduction and notes, history and philosophy, death, life, and literature. My goodness. Wait, it talks about it before you even I just want to get into it, man. You know? Translator's note. Give me a break. Can I read that stuff later? I'll just jump right in. Volume 1, Part 1, Chapter 1. You know, I don't mind being a stupid American, though. Like, I'll be a stupid American day and night because I know that our, like, education system is kind of crap. So, and it has been crap. And so I was probably pretty crappy. So I'm just going to do whatever the best I can. But I don't want to be an ugly American. So, like, I'm really going to be adamant about that. Okay. So I guess sit back and watch me read this thing. And then if you want to, maybe this is just being somebody's background, you know, or maybe this might suck altogether, I guess. And we'll just see what happens. Maybe I just really want to do this though. And then hopefully I'll get better and I won't die. And yeah. Wow, this is just everything is so small. Okay. I'm fine. I gotta stop looking at everything. We're in chapter 1. Well, Prince Genoa and Luca are now nothing more than estates taken over by the Bonaparte family. No, I give you fair warning. If you won't say this means war, if you will allow yourself to condone all the ghastly atrocities perpetuated by the anarchist, Antichrist. This is going to be harder than I thought because I'm just not a very good reader. Maybe I shouldn't be reading out loud on a live. I'm going to keep going and then no one's going to watch this. It's fine. No one's going to watch this. Okay. Well, Prince, Genoa, and Luca are now nothing more than estates taken over by the Bonaparte family. No, I give you fair warning. If you won't say this means war, if you will allow yourself to condone all the ghastly atrocities perpetuated by that Antichrist, yes, that's what I think he is, I shall disown you. You are no friend of mine, not the faithful slave you claim to be. But how are you? How are you keeping? I can see I'm intimidating you. Do sit down and talk to me. These words were spoken in French one evening in July 1805 by the well-known Anna Pavlovna Schurer, maid of honor and confidant of the Empress Maria Fyodorovna. Oh, Fyodorovna. As she welcomed the first person to arrive at her sortie, Prince Vasily Kuragin, a man of high rank and influence. I can't just say Anna. Anna Pavlovna had a cough for the last few days, and she called it the gripe. Being a new word, yet not in common currency. A footman of hers in scarlet livery had gone around that morning delivering notes written in French, each saying precisely the same thing. If you have nothing better to do, Count or Prince, and if the prospect of spending an evening with a poor sick lady is not too unnerving, I shall be delighted to see you at my residence between 7 and 10. Annette Shearer. My goodness, what a violent attack, replied the prince. Had only just come in and was not in the least put out by this welcome. Dressed in his embroidered court uniform with knee breeches, shoes and stars across his chest, he looked at her with a flat face of undisturbed serenity. His French was the elegant tongue of grandparents who used it for thought as well as speech, and it carried the soft tones of condensation. Not condensation, condescension. It's not water on the outside of a glass. Uh, and the soft tones of condensation. Did it again. His French was the elegant tongue. This is why we have editing. This is why it's recording and not live. Wow. I'm not even off the first page. I'm depressing myself. His French was the elegant tongue of our grandparents, who used it for thought as well as speech, and it carried the soft tones of condescension, that come naturally to an eminent personage grown old in high society and at court. He came up to Anna Pavlovna and kissed her hand, presenting to her a perfumed and glistening bald pate. Bald pate? Pate? Pate. And then seated himself calmly on the sofa. You know what? You know what I need to do? I need to make a list of all the words. I make sure that I can freaking look them up. Yep. Is it pate or pate? Because like it doesn't have the little thing over the A, so I don't think it's pate. I think it's just pate. But I know what pate means. Is it his bald pate? Is it his head? Is he actually bald? A perfumed and glistening bald pate, and then seated himself calmly on the sofa. First things first, he said. How are you, my dear friend? Wait, I should redo that. He came up to Anna Pavlovna and kissed her hand, presenting to her a perfumed and glistening bald pate, and then seated himself calmly on the sofa. First things first, he said. How are you, my dear friend? Put my mind at rest. His voice remained steady, and his tone, for all its courtesy and sympathy, implied indifference and even gentle mockery. I should not be reading it the same way. Like I'm hearing Stanley Tucci's voice in my head while I'm doing it, and from a bit of a little chaos. The way he talks like fast, but like and just that and like he's that kind of prince guy. Well, there is that reception at the English ambassador's. Oh, never mind. I really shouldn't be reading. Maybe this is like not a good idea. How can one feel well when one is suffering in a moral sense? Can any sensitive person find peace of mind nowadays? Said Anna Pavlovna. I do hope you're staying all evening. Well, there is that reception at the English ambassador's. It's Wednesday. I must show my face, said the prince. My daughter is coming to take me there. I thought tonight's festivities had been cancelled. I must say, all these celebrations and fireworks are becoming rather tedious. If they had known you wanted the celebration cancelled, it would have been, said the prince, with the predictability of a wound-up clock. Sheer habit made him say things he didn't even mean. Stop teasing me. Come on. Tell me, what's you been decided about Novosiltsev's dispatch? You know nothing. You know everything. You know nothing, Jon Snow. Oh, Novo Siltevs. Silt, but it's Sevs. So I want to go like Sevs. Novo Siltevs. I got to look up all these freaking names. You know everything. What is there to tell? Replied the prince in a cold, bored sense. So, what is there to tell? What's been decided? They decided that Bonaparte has burnt his boats, and I rather think they're getting ready to burn ours. Prince Vasily always spoke languishly, like an actor declaiming a part from an old play. Anna Pavlovna Schurer was just the opposite, all verve and excitement, despite her 40 years. To be his enthusiast had become her special role in society, and she would sometimes wax enthusiastic when she didn't feel like it, so as not to frustrate the expectations of those who knew her. The discreet smile that never left her face, though it clashed with her faded looks, gave her the appearance of a spoilt child with a charming defect that she was well aware of, though she neither wished nor felt able to correct it, nor even thought it necessary to do so. Then suddenly, in the middle of this political discussion, Anna Pavlov, Pavlovna. Why is it always Then suddenly, in the middle of this political discussion, Anna Pavlovna launched forth in great excitement. Oh, don't talk to me about Austria. Perhaps it's all been me, but Austria has never wanted war, and she still doesn't want war. She's betraying she's betraying us. Russia alone must be Europe's savior. Our benefactor is aware of his exalted calling, and he's living up to it. That's the one thing I do believe in. The noblest role on earth applies our good and wonderful sovereign, and he is so full of decency and virtue that God will not forsake him. He will do what has to be done and scotch the hydra of revolution, which has become more dreadful than ever in the person of this murdering villain. We alone must avenge the blood of the righteous. And whom can we trust, I ask you? England, with that commercial spirit of hers, cannot understand the lofty soul of our Emperor Alexander and never will. She has refused to evacuate Malta. She keeps on looking for an ulterior motive behind our actions. What did they say to Novosiltsev? Nothing. They didn't understand. They're not capable of understanding how altruistic our emperor is. He wants nothing for himself, but everything for the good of mankind. And what have they promised? Nothing. And what little they have promised, they won't carry out. Prussia has already declared that Bonaparte is invincible, and that the whole of Europe is powerless to oppose him. I, for one, don't believe a single word from Hardenberg or Hogwiz. That much vaunted Persian neutrality is just a trap. I put my faith in God and the noble calling of our beloved emperor. He'll be the savior of Europe. She stopped suddenly, amused at her own passionate outburst. I think if they had sent you instead of our dear Winston Gerode. Winston Gerode. I have this feeling that TZ makes a different sound than T. I bet it like makes some weird L sound. Ugh, jeez, it's like going to Poland. I think they had sent you instead of our dear Winston Road, said the prince with a similar smile. An onslaught like that from you would have got the King of Prussia to agree. You are so eloquent. Will I have some tea? Yes, of course. By the way, she added, calming down, there are two very interesting men coming here tonight. The Vicomte de Mortemart. Vicomte. None of these things sound Vicomte de Mortemart. A Montmorency through the Rohan line. One of the best French families. He's the right kind of émigré. One of the genuine ones. And the Abbé Murillo, such a profound thinker. Do you know him? He's been received by the emperor. Have you heard? Oh, it will be a pleasure to meet him, said the prince. But tell me, he added, with a studied nonchalance, as if an idea had just occurred to him, though this question was the main reason for his visit. Is it true that the Dowager Empress wants Baron Funk to become first secretary in Vienna? They do say he's a miserable creature, that baron. Prince Vasily wanted this post for his son, but other people were working through the Empress Maria Fridovna, Fyodorova, Fyodorova, to get it for the Baron. Anna Pavlovna half closed her eyes to indicate that neither she nor anyone else could pass judgment on what the Empress might feel like doing or want to do. Baron Funk had been recommended to the Dowager Empress by her sister, was all she said, in a dry, lugubrious tone. Lugubrious tone. As she pronounced the name of the Empress, Anna Pavlovna's face took on an expression of profound and sincere devotion, mixed with respect and tinged with sadness, which invariably came upon her when she had occasion to mention her exalted patroness. She said that Her Majesty had been gracious enough to show Baron Funk great respect, at which her face once again dissolved into sadness. The prince said nothing and showed no feeling. Anna Pavlovna, with all the sensitivity and quick thinking of both a courier and a woman, decided to rebuke the prince for daring to refer in such a way to a person recommended to the empress, and at the same time to console him. But on the subject of your family, she said, do you realize how much your daughter has delighted everyone in society since she came out? They she's as beautiful as the day is long. The prince bowed as a mark of his gratitude and respect. I often think, Anna Pavlovna resumed after a short pause, edging closer to the prince and smiling sweetly to indicate that the political and social conversation was now at an end and personal conversation was in order. I often think that good fortune in life is sometimes distributed most unfairly. Why was fate given to you? Why has fate given you two such splendid children? I don't include Anatoly, your youngest. I don't like him, she commented in a preemptive. I'm getting at my ending here. I don't include Anatoly, your youngest. I don't like him, she commented in a peremptory tone. Jesus fucking. Peremptory tone. Like, this is going to be a problem. I don't think I'm going to be able to read this out loud. Tone. With raised eyebrows. Such charming children. And I must say you seem to appreciate them less than anyone. You really don't deserve them. And she smiled her exuberant smile. What can I do? Lavater would have said that I would have no patriarchy bump, said the prince. Oh, do stop joking. I wanted a serious talk with you. Listen, I'm not pleased with your younger son. Just between ourselves. Her face went all gloomy again. His name has been mentioned in Her Majesty's presence, and the people are feeling sorry for you. The prince said nothing. While she gave him a knowing look, waited in silence for his reply. Prince Vasily frowned. What can I do? He said at last. You know I've done everything a father could do to bring them up well, and they have both turned out to be idiots. At least. Oh, well, this is Greek. I should be better at the Greek. At least. Hippolytes, pretty sure. At least Hippolytes, a fool and the quiet, and Atole's the rowdy one. That's the only difference between them, he said, with an unusually awkward and forced smile, which gave a sharp twist to the lines around his mouth, making it surprisingly ugly and coarse. Let men like you have children. If you weren't a father, I could find no fault with you, said Anna Pavlovna, looking up pensively. I'm your faithful slave. I wouldn't admit it to anyone else, but my children are the bane of my life. They're the cross I have to bear. That's how I explain it to myself. What would you... He broke off with a gesture that signaled his resignation to a cruel fate. Anna Pavlovna thought things over. That prodigal son of yours, Anatoly, haven't you thought of marrying him off? They do say, she went on, that old maids have a mania for matchmaking. So far, I've never been conscious of this failing in myself, but I do have a certain little person in mind. Someone who was very unhappy with her father. A relative of ours, the young Princess Bolkonsky. Bolkonsky. That's not nearly as difficult. A relative of ours, the young Princess Bolkonsky. Prince Vasily made no reply, but being quick on the uptake and good at remembering things, qualities that came naturally to the denizens of high society, he gave a slight nod to show that he had noted her comment and was considering it. No, listen, do you realize that boy's costing me 40,000 rubles a year? He said, obviously unable to check the dismal drift of his thinking. He paused. What will it be like in 5 years' time if he carries on like this? You see what the benefits of fatherhood are? That this princess of yours, is she rich? Her father's a very rich man and a miser. He lives out in the country. Bolkonsky. Prince Bolkonsky. He's very well known. He retired under the late emperor. They used to call him the King of Prussia. He's a very clever man, but he's a crank. Not easy to get on with. Poor little thing. She's as miserable as any girl could be. It was her brother who married Liza Mannon. Mannon? It was her brother who married Liza Mannon not too long ago. He's one of Kutuzov's adjutants. He's coming here tonight. Listen, my dear Annette, said the prince, suddenly taking his companion's hand and pressing it downwards for reasons best known to himself. You set this up for me, and I'll serve you like a faithful slave forever. Or slave, with an F, as my village elder puts it when he writes to me. She's a girl from a good family, and she's rich. That's all I need. And with the freedom, familiarity, and sheer style that were his hallmark, he took hold of the maid of honor's hand, kissed it, and gave it a little shake, easing back into his armchair and looked away from her. Wait a minute, said Anna Pavlovna, thinking things over. I'll have a little talk with Lice, young Bolkonsky's wife, this very evening. Perhaps something can be arranged. I'll use your family to start learning the old maid's trade. I'll use your family to learn learning on the old maid's trade. And okay, that is chapter 1. That took me forever. And I've got 3 words to look up, how to pronounce and what the fuck they mean. And it's always going to be Anna Pavlovna, because that's like her first and middle name, or that's her whole first name. Because every time I have to say Anna Pavlovna. Anna Pavlovna. So I might rethink this. I might find a different book. Maybe I should just find a different book. Maybe this is too ambitious and I should come back. I should start smaller. Like, I always think too big. I always do things too big. Like, this is as big as it gets. Like, no joke. No joke. This is it's gigantic. It's my fingers. Like, my hand is normal sized. It's a normal sized hand. I wonder what 1,200 freaking pages looks like. This is what it looks like. I mean, I still want to read it. Maybe just not out loud on YouTube live. Maybe I could get it digitally, and that would be fine. It's a classic. I think it's like 99 cents on Kindle or something. Then I have to have it on Kindle. There are other means. Still looking into other means. All right, well, we'll see how this works out. I think this has been long enough for me to learn. So it's supposed to be a challenge to begin with. It's supposed to be a challenge. It's supposed to be a challenge. But perhaps it doesn't have to be this level of challenge. Maybe this is just a higher level of challenge that I don't need to start there. I need to start smaller. I do not want to start with a children's book. I mean, I could. I have a single children's book. I do have a single children's book. I have a single children's book. But people read children's books, like, and they're good at it. Hang on. All right, I will read this children's book. Oh my God, come here. All right. Because I'm moving, I happen to have all of my books out. Okay, so this is the one and only that I have. Okay, this is my one and only children's book that I have because I don't have children. So the neighbors do, so I could go over there maybe and get more. But this one is the Pengrooms. It's by Paul Castle. I got it off of TikTok because he's awesome. He's a gentleman who was going blind but can still like do art. So he's doing his art until he goes completely blind, which is wild. And I got the signed copy. See, look, oh, there it is. So, written and illustrated by Paul Castle. And I guess, and it's for Matthew because we make a great team. Because Matthew is his husband who does violin. Like he was homeless or something, and then he did violin, and then he became really good at it, and so like he made that his living, which is crazy. So like he's on Spotify and stuff. It's like you find one thing about somebody and be like, oh, this is so cute and sweet, and then you just keep finding out more things. And then they have a dog, you know, it's a seeing eye dog, and the dog is awesome. Like their little family is just awesome. And Paul was saying that like he had to rename it, so it's not the Pengrooms, it's called something else for like mass distribution, but he gets mass distribution, so yeah. But I have an original and I'm not getting rid of it, and it's signed. It's mine now. I don't care if I have children or not, I am the child in this section. So I guess when people read children's books, they like have the down camera to look at them and stuff, right? I do not have that. I could do it. I could figure it out. I have figured it out before. I've done it sort of once before, but yeah. Okay, here we go. The Pengrooms. Yeah. Pringle and Finn made a great team. They listened to classical music. They spent Saturdays at the beach. Classical music. And every night they slept in hammocks underneath the stars. Cute, right? But nothing quite compared to their love of making cakes. Wedding cakes, to be precise. And everyone agreed they made a great team. One cake was all pink and shaped like a heart. It's cute. Pringle and Finn delivered it to a wedding in the lagoon. Of course, they're flamingos. And it's kind of like flamingos, not hearts. Very cute. You must stay for the traditional wedding dance, said one groom. The flamingo tango, squawked the other. Yay! Pringle and Finn didn't know all the right moves, but everyone agreed they made a great team. Yay! Another cake was very small and dotted with yellow cheese. What could this cake be? Who could it be for? Pringle and Finn delivered it to a wedding in the farmer's field. Oh, that's right. It's for mice. Will you please keep a lookout for the farmer's ferocious cat? Asked the mice. Yeah, see? Yeah, they're like very, very small. And they're like, oh, what a great picture of the cat. Pringle and Finn never saw the cat, but everyone agreed they made a great team. Glad they were kept an eye out so that they could have a very fun mouse wedding. Another cake was so tall, Pringle couldn't reach the top without Finn's help. Oh, what could it be? How? Why did it need to be so tall? Who could it be for? Haha, Pringle and Finn delivered it to a wedding in the savannah. That's right. It's for giraffes. Eek. Oh, look, the musicians have arrived, said the brides, who mistook the penguins for the musical entertainment. Oops. No, we have the cake. We don't play music. Pringle and Finn played slightly out of tune, but everyone agreed they made a great team. Which makes sense because he could play the violin. One cake, however, stood out from the rest. It was icy cold and lined with rainbow snow cones. Ooh, that looks really good. It looks really fun. It's got a little slide on it. Who could that be for? Pringle and Finn delivered it to a wedding in their own backyard. So cute. So cute. Putting the little penguins on the top. Pengrooms. Did you remember to send the invitation? The invitations? Asked Pringle. I thought you sent them, replied Finn. Uh-oh. Who sent the invitations? No, they're still in the mail. The mail thing. Mailbag. It's a mailbag. Oh, intermission. Because they asked the birds to be like, oh, hey, did you go deliver these now? Pringle and Finn were not perfect, but they were perfect for each other. And everyone agreed they made a great team. Yeah, everybody showed up. Yay. Rainbow bows. It's so cute. So cute. The end. They just hung out afterwards. There you go. I mean, I would like to find something in between. Something in between the children's book and War and Peace. Something with words that I can just cruise through. Maybe I should find a young adult book section. Oh, so many books. I have so many books. I should just pick one. It's just going to be so boring if I read it because it's nonfiction. If it's nonfiction, it'll be so boring. I don't know, that New York book. Oh, this was cute. About the book. Oh, I should add this. On March 25th, 2019, Matthew got down on one knee and asked Paul to be his husband. Paul said yes, and then began the next chapter of their lives together. The first step was planning their wedding day. While Matthew and Paul agreed on almost everything, it was the subject of their wedding invitations that divided them. Paul wanted their picture to appear on the invitations, while Matthew had another idea. You're an artist. Draw a picture of us instead. Paul agreed, but decided to draw them as penguins because they were already dressed in little tuxedos, he added. Rainbow bow ties were a splash of color, and the Pengrooms was born. The invitations were a big hit, and the Pengrooms even appeared atop their wedding cake on December 15th, 2019. Then one sunny day in April, Matthew said to Paul, "You should turn the Pengrooms into a children's book." Paul began writing and illustrating that very day. The book you're holding is not only the result of hundreds of hours of work, it's a product of teamwork and love, two things Pringle and Finn know a little something about. Paul Castle is a legally blind author and illustrator. He has lost over 90% of his vision to the untreatable eye disease. Retinitis, pigmentosa. He lives in Seattle with his husband, Matthew, and his guide dog, Mr. Maple. Find more at paulcastlestudio.com. Oh, look at this one. Really, it's really, it does the mirror thing with the thing. Oh, just hanging out at the beach. reading some books, listen to some music. Oh, it's cute. Very cute. So I guess maybe I will go through my books and try this again with something else because there needs to be something in between Pengrooms and War and Peace because that was painful, wasn't it? Trying to listen to War and Peace. I think it's just too much. But I do still want to get better. It's just reading out loud. Because if I'm reading out loud, then I'm paying attention. And there's like, and it's not an audiobook and it's not me just reading, it's me reading out loud to somebody else, even though nobody's here. So it's fine. But I just needed something. I needed something. I needed a sense of urgency. I needed a sense of oomph to do something. So it was already in me. I just I needed this extra bit. So if you actually watch this, thank you. Yeah, all right. I'll probably chop this up and turn this into a video. We'll see what happens. All right. Have a great day. Thanks for being here. If you were here, you're seeing this. Thank you for being here. I appreciate it. And yeah, we'll figure it out. I'll find something else to read. Find something else to read. Thanks very much. I'm going to end the stream. Bye. See you next time.